Hello, everyone, and welcome to the ultimate episode of Dragon Age Unbroken. We are now on episode 5, not the beach episode, not until next season. Which, by the way, this is my way of saying there will be a season 2. Y'all gotta wait for it, but there's gonna be a season 2, and everyone here is super excited for it. All of us here at Martlet, myself included, I did not think it was going to go into a second season, so someone had to do a lot of rewriting. So, oh, what am I talking about? I just pull it out of my ass. First, let's start by meeting with all of our players. We're going to go in reverse order at the end. But first, let's go off on my screen here. We are going to start. Let us start with Garnet. Introduce your character one last time for this season.
Hey y'all, I'm Garnet. I'm playing Ravina Bellstrom. She's the Antivan Wayfarer rogue, who is everyone's favorite wine passing out auntie, who is also now a dragon mom, who also now has finally named her dragon.
And we'll find out what that is in this episode as well. Nice. Next up, we have Mare.
Well, hello there. My name is Mare, and I am going to be playing Aurelia, our Tevinter mage, our Tevinter Altus. I love this character and I've loved this crew so much. I'm just beyond stoked. So let's do this.
Next, we have Corey.
That's me. Hi, I'm Corey. I'm playing Brody, your ex-circle mage. He's just, traveling around, writing stories, gathering as much info as possible, and he's having a great time with this group.
And next up, we have Hyair. Introduce yourself, please.
Hi, I'm Hyair, and I am playing Nodis Tollins, our rogue surface dwarf, who is oblivious about virtually everything. And so I'm excited to see what chaos will ensue for this episode.
This is their episode today, so very much looking forward to. We have so much stuff to reveal and have fun for you guys. Last but not least, before we jump right into it, though, Petra, introduce yourself and your lovely character, please.
Hello. I'm Petra Skelton, and I am playing Red Chain, our Quinari mage / emotional time bomb. I'm really excited to hopefully get to play with this crew again, because y'all are great, and this has been an amazing campaign.
Very glad to hear that. Okay, so first and foremost, there's a thing I forgot to do because our episode ran a little bit long yesterday, feels like yesterday. Last time, there was loot given to you guys, unless I hadn't said so before, but I'm just going to say it on recording right now, that at the end of the encounter and after all the turmoil and trauma, because there was trauma, if you don't know what I'm talking about, you need to watch last week's episode, because this was phenomenal work across the board and some of everyone's best work. I absolutely loved running that last episode. All of you gets 250 sovereigns for you to be able to spend. You can add that to your gold amount that you have right now. And as you can all add that up, as we focus in specifically on our surface dwarf friend, Nodis Tollins. Nodis, do you want to tell us where you are and who you're with, and sort of set the scene for us? We are in Kirkwall BT dubs, so for folks at home.
Yeah, so Nodis is actually sort of getting everything ready. He was able to acquire a place to open up his herbal shop that he's been dreaming of sort of acquiring. It does have an official name now, but he is sort of trying to have everything ready for like a grand opening, so that way he can start sort of like creating a bunch of different herbal medicines for the people of Kirkwall. He would most likely be currently with Stan, of course, and I was wondering if Red Chain might be there as well to sort of assist with a few like heavier things.
Literally, all Nodis has to do is ask. Red Chain is there, so yes.
But yeah, honestly, this the way I kind of envision this like shop is like it has sort of like this. I don't know if any of you guys have ever been to like the Rainforest Cafe.
Yes, there was one in BC when I
Anyway,
moved here. Hmm.
anyway, think of the Rainforest Cafe, but more like medieval vibes.
Okay.
So it has that foresty, like you're like in the woods kind of vibe.
You somehow found a way to bring the Cafe AU to us.
It happened. It finally happened. It's taking place in
I
a
mean,
cafe.
Hashtag the fiction writes itself. So,
but yeah, so that's where he would be at this time.
all right. So you're getting the place all set up and ready to go. As I drop my earbud. Um, I mean, you can describe what you're doing. I can, at the very least, I think for the most part, Stan is going to be on sort of like sweep duty. They're very diligent in making sure that that floor is swept. Any little bit of dirt or grime or even like a speck of dust gets there, and they're just watching the floor and just sweep, 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 right out the door.
Yeah, and Nodis will probably, as he's like sort of carrying some stuff and putting it over at a table, he'll probably stop by a Red Chain and just sort of say, um, "I I really do appreciate that you would take time out of your day to help with some of this stuff here. Um, I do hope it wasn't," and kind of just stops just to make sure like it wasn't out of the way, like Red Chain didn't have anything better, more important to do, kind of thing.
So Red Chain is fully gonna miss any implications there, and just be like, yeah, no, I'm here if you need help. I like learning about plants. It's not something I've ever had to care about before, so it's nice to be here. You need me to move anything else, or
Well, there is, and he like, kind of points over towards like a big cabinet that has sort of these very delicate glass jars and vials and stuff. If you're able to just move that maybe over to the other side of the room, I originally thought it would have looked good there, but it messes with the, and he sort of like tries to say the feng shui. I don't know if feng shui exists within.
I believe the word you're looking for is feng shui.
Oh, yeah, that.
yeah, no
Spelled
problem.
funny. I don't understand what that really is. Really, don't mind me.
Just in the back. No, I'm imagining is this Red Chain in the background, just like carefully trying to move this thing. You want me to roll for that, Rose?
Do it. Roll
I
it.
am I am kind of curious.
First roll of the night. First roll of the last game. Sorry, it's gonna be a thing.
Is this going to be dexterity? Or is this strength? What are we making this?
We're gonna make this dexterity because there's
Oh,
things you have to finagle.
Roll for
I will give you
interior
a plus.
design.
I will give you a +1 because Nodis, would you like to help or do you want Stan to help?
Um, I I would probably say you probably have Stan to help because Nadas isn't confident enough in his ability to like really help in this scenario.
Yeah. So
He
yeah.
feels like people who are taller might have more of the capability than he could.
Actually, based on the character sheet that I made for Stan, since they're a permanent NPC at this point in time, uh, I'm gonna actually give you Red Chain a +3 for that because they're quite dexterous. So if anything happens, they will catch the thing that falls.
so
If anything falls.
that's an 18 then. I was a little worried before it became a +3. It's like, no.
Perfect. Honestly, that's enough. I was gonna make it a difficulty of like 15 or something like that because the delicate objects inside. Had it had none, it would have been a lot lower. But well done. Nothing manages like Stan's hands is like close to the glass frames or the doors that are closed. I assume it's like a credenza of some kind. So it has like display glass doors displaying all the stuff in there. The only thing that really falls is a few price tags, and um, once it's been replaced and pushed into the correct spot, and Nodis gives the okay for where it is, um, Stan opens it and puts them back in because they seem to know where the price tags go for the which ones, and go and looks back and is just like, I think that's right. A few of them fell.
Yeah, I think that looks perfect. He goes over and he grabs he sort of makes these finishing touches to like this sort of makeshift sign of the shop's name. And he sort of like steps back at it and says, "Can I ask your guys' opinion on this?" And so he kind of
Sure.
has the sign on the table, and it says Alden's Greenhouse as the name of the shop. It's very, you can tell it's very homemade.
Oh, that's sweet. That's in dedication to your da, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. Um, he he always wanted to open up a shop at one point. Um, he never had a chance to, though, but I thought it would be an amazing thing to name and dedicate the shop after him.
Yeah. Um, yeah, no, that's beautiful.
It really is. I think he'd be super proud of you.
I think so too. He sort of like
Mm,
looks down and he looks over at Red Chain and says, "Can I ask you something?
Of course.
You know, my father always told me that when people pass, though they no longer are here physically, their very essence, their being is returned back to nature itself. So, for example, and he sort of looks over at like a flower that's in a pot nearby. He says, for example, their very essence and being is still within the plants and the trees and the grass around around all of nature. Sometimes it's a little hard to really accept that kind of passing. I'm going to be honest with you. I've never met another Kunari before, so I'm just kind of curious to see um, how you feel about that kind of stuff.
The Kunari word for ending is the same word we use for achievement. Reaching an end is something that should always be celebrated, regardless of how it's reached, regardless of the fact that a life was lived before the end means that it was an accomplishment getting there. And it makes sense to me that plants grow from where people fall, and it makes sense. That makes sense to me.
Uh, Nada sort of looks back at the sign and says, "Yeah, you were kind of the only person that really saw that, I guess, situation. Um, it took a
Did
while for me to
something
really accept that.
did something happen in the fade?
Yeah, we.
It's okay if you don't want to tell me. It's fine.
Oh, it's okay. I mean, all I can say from my personal experience is that we had to experience some sort of bad memory from our past. Red
I
Chain
see.
was able to pull me out of that dark place.
He, Nodus did the same for so many others. And fear isn't
Uh,
fear didn't beat us there.
I agree. If anything else, it actually made me feel a bit stronger and more confident in trying to do this. Now that I have the shop open, pretty much what I was destined to do is pretty much at my fingertips. And he kind of just like wiggles his fingers at the thought of it.
I know how you feel. I took me a long time, but I finally did something I've been meaning to do for a while. Um yeah, I I know how you feel about that. Do you need help putting the sign up? I know.
Absolutely. I would love to help, but I am too short to even remotely reach up there.
Yeah, that's
I
fine.
think Red Chain and I have it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, if you don't mind, Red Chain, you're taller than me, so you may have to do the heavy lifting if that's okay. If I can do the hammering at the very least.
I'm getting very used to living in a human city made by dwarves. Everybody needs a little help with strength.
I mean, we're sort of the odd ones out. A Kunari, an elf, a dwarf. One thing we have in common: a lot of people think we don't belong here, but hey, we do. Screw them.
Absolutely.
Anyways, sign. Before they go, Notice Stan does sort of look to you and just gives you like sort of a really like gentle squeeze on your shoulder and just a very like just kindness personified.
Yeah, he sort of puts his hand, if he still has his hand on his shoulder, Nodis will sort of
Mhm.
like put a hand on there as well and sort of like squeeze back at it as well. And he just smiles and doesn't say anything back on that, but just kind of just
Mm.
contemplating at that moment there.
Oh yeah, neither does Stan. And afterwards it's like, well, that sign's not gonna put up itself.
Yeah, again, if I was taller.
I don't know. I could always give you a boost, you know.
Hmm. And then he contemplates like, I wonder if I'm afraid of heights.
Do we do shenanigans at this point? Did we figure that out?
I mean,
this is the
we
DM
can.
asking you this. I mean,
We can. He wouldn't know. He's never been in a high place before.
We're like not even 15 minutes in. Let's do this. Okay. So the group of the three of you head outside. I assume that Red Chain, you like lift up the sign and do the whole bit where like was say even like Nodis or even both Nodis and Stan are just like little to the right, little to the right, up a little bit, lower a little bit, up, down, just that little gag until it actually comes to hammering. And Nodis, Stan gives you a hammer and also a nail, and then squats down and says, "All right, have a seat on my shoulders."
Well, okay. And he
Mhm.
will try to hop up
And Stan gets to do a strength check. That is not there.
there.
Okay, it's a 16. So with some with the you okay, so as you know, he gets low enough, or sorry, they get low enough so that Nodis, you're able to climb on, and you're basically straddling his neck, and then there should be like lifting that happens, but it takes a bit, and then a bit of a readjustment, and then finally you feel your feet leave the ground, and you're going up and up and up and up, and combined, you guys are about 6 feet. You're just at say like Red Chain's ear if she were standing next to you.
Red Jade's gonna look over and go, this is a new feeling.
I agree. I do have to say the experience from being this high up vastly changes my concept of space.
They're a lot thinner up there.
Oh yeah, let me do this now. He like snaps out of it because he completely forgot what he was supposed to do and starts hammering the sign up.
Can
Or
Red
nailing
Okay.
Chain can Red Chain just like place a hand on Stem's back just to like kind of help support them a little bit without not us immediately seeing?
You can, yeah. And actually, I was going to do a roll because I have to do it again for the other, one side and then the other side. So I was going to do another roll there. Oh dear lord, that was not any better. Yeah. So your back actually, your assistance helps with the other side because they are. You do need notice that Stan's knees do start to buckle a little bit. Not that not as heavy. Just they don't lift shit. They just do gardening and they're sweet and they're a peppermint stick, but they do not do heavy lifting whatsoever. But yes, your hand behind them braces them, and kind of glancing over Nodis's leg, you just see them just like and after you're done, Nodis, you then hear the strained voices of Stand underneath. All right, down we go. And then you feel yourself being brought down, kind of shift a little bit forward as they bring their shoulders forward and your feet find the ground once again.
Oh, well, thank
And
you so much, Stan, for lifting me up like that.
stands a little bit huddled into a little bit of a crouch, just like, no
Yeah,
problem.
not as just sort of like pats his shoulder, or wherever he's close enough to pat him to be like,
So, do you have any kind of ointment for my shoulders? That'd be kind of nice. I don't do heavy
Absolutely.
lifting. Not to say that you're
Absolutely.
heavy. You're light as a feather. It's just
No,
me.
I completely understand. Let me go and grab that for you. And he runs to the back to like grab the right ointment that he would need.
Okay. Do you go to like the backpack or where exactly do you go?
I would assume this would be like in the backpack because he hasn't like fully stocked everything and like, it's
Okay.
just sort of getting the vibe right.
Okay. So that being said, at least with the +1, I want you to do a sorry, just 1 second here. I've got the character sheet up here. Just a straight cunning check. Give yourself a +1 because you know the area, but it's not too much of it's still disorganized. So we'll give you the +1 because you know the place.
And we don't have to count the dragon die, do we?
Nope. That's not for combat.
So I got a
For
6.
folks for folks playing at home, all the players here and the way the game system works, you use 3 die, 2 of the same color, and 1 that is different. The different one is your dragon die, and that determines tie breaking, stunts, everything like that. We'll get to that.
Oh, I'm sorry. You said a cunning, right?
Cunning, yes.
8. I'm sorry, 8.
And you added the +1 in there?
Yes, yes.
Okay. It does take a little bit of time for you to dig it out there. But you are able to find it. And then I need you to do a dexterity check at -1.
So 11 with the -1 already added in there.
All right. You see the ointment bottle in your hand, and then suddenly everything goes dark. Hand is over your mouth in that darkness. Your feet leave the ground again, and you are whisked away elsewhere.
Lovely.
Red Chain, Stan and yourself are going to be doing perception checks
Gotcha.
because we both made our way back into Alden's, what we're going to call the space for the time being. Wow. Stan notices nothing.
That's on brand.
It's very on brand.
15 with a
Wonderful.
6 on the dragon die. That doesn't matter in this case.
Cool. You hear sort of a scuffling and a bit of a bottle of something like drop and then clank to the floor. And you see the back room where it came from, the door is wide open. And then you hear shuffling outside of a door. Or outside of an even further back door.
I'm going to race towards that door then.
Okay.
Where we hear the shuffling.
You see a bottle of something that's smashed on the floor, and Nodus is gone.
Stan!
What is it?
Nodus isn't here anymore.
What?
I'm going out the back. And just Regin's gonna book it.
Do I get the other what?
Tell the others.
On it.
Or get the guard.
Stan runs out the front door. Okay, we're gonna leave that in limbo. I'm gonna roll the dice. Hey, Ravina, let's see what you're up to.
So what time is it?
We're gonna have events happening beforehand because I was gonna give you guys some time to do what you like. So this can be as early as you like. Actually just double checking or rather Nodus. When would you have started out in this morning? When would you have gotten to the store or to the shop?
I feel like this is like a bright and early kind of thing, like
Okay.
as early as whenever Red Chain and would have been able to make it there. I feel like this is a morning sort of situation for when Nodus would want to do this.
Wait. How soon after the last episode is this? Please tell me this isn't like the next day.
No, this is a week. You've been given that there's gonna be some time to investigate, so it's a week after the events of the last game. You guys had plenty of time to recover.
would have been a whole lot of hangovers.
Yeah. So they like had to role play just Red Chain me like, sure, I can lift things.
And honestly, the fact Nodis would have even hit the hammer or even gotten up there would have been a miracle.
So yeah, this can be as early as you like. Apparently they were at the crack of dawn. Just for the record then. About 9 a.m.
Well,
Red Chain is when this kind of goes down, like 9 a.m. ish. So not really like
even earlier, because I have discovered that my baby loves to watch the sunrise. So that's what we do now. We climb up on the roof and we watch the sunrise. It is very early every morning for me, but it is something that we have started that is a tradition. So we're just sitting up on the roof watching the sunrise. Once I can finally get them down, which takes a little while because you know how babies are when they like a thing.
Also, finally they new claws. They're kind of
yes,
your clothes a little bit, just like,
and it's just me up there. I do not make the servants come up with us. It's just me. It's like we have to go down now because downstairs is where the kitchen is. And usually when I mention food is when it's just like, okay, breakfast.
There's little tippy tappies. You realize this dragon does little like happy dance feet when it just is really excited for something. Yes. Food, sunrises, and miscellaneous things that make it excited. It is a child. It is very excited and very excitable. Yes, and because of that, that harness that I ordered for them is first day was rough trying to get them in it because like why clothes? Well, because want you to go outside and people don't like random dragons. Yeah, I know, but it's soft. It's okay. But we're dealing with it. Stop that. It's good for you. Look, once people adjust to you, I will not make you wear clothes. Okay. You do not have to do this until after the neighborhood adjusts. Everybody else I don't care about, but the neighbors have to like us. Because you can't breathe fire yet. Yeah, like that first day was just Sulk City. That was just a grumpy teenager.
Just very sulky. But it's so pretty and it's just like you look so good.
Okay, well.
Yeah, so we put the harness on and we go for a walk. And because I've got a fairly long leash, I do let them fly, but I still kind of hold on to it. At one point it was like a runaway kite and I did leave the ground for a second. It's like no,
flying dog's like, ooh, it's over here. Ooh, it's over here. Ooh,
right. It's like no, mommy's feet have to stay on the ground. Hold on.
Ooh, and Alicia with flour in her hair. Nice.
So yeah, there were some trial and errors with the leash, but it's better now. Even after a week, because baby is very smart, and once we kind of adjusted and got used to each other in just kind of our area in the giant backyard that I absolutely needed, we finally decide to go for a walk out in front with everyone else. Obviously not on the leash, because the only time I use a leash is when I let them fly. So it's like no leash, no flying. So we're just going to go out and we're just going to walk around the cul-de-sac and we're going to go say hi and we're going to go bother whoever is awake or whoever isn't awake. You pick.
I mean, you pick. Who do you want to go visit?
Let's see. At this point, it's probably
you might not know that. I mean, unless Nodis let you know. Actually, you know what? Whoever you don't know about Nodis and Red Chain's plans rather.
Oh, for the shopping this morning? Not probably not. Yeah. I know it's happening, but I don't know about the morning.
I can definitely say Nodis would have let everyone know that he has a shop on and he's getting stuff ready. But yeah, I feel like this plan situation hasn't been mentioned.
I feel like also he would really want to show it off to his friends too and still have like a bit of a surprise. So like it's today, but
right.
Nebulous when.
So I know very much that Aurelia is still sleeping, so we will let her be. So we're gonna go see Uncle Brody and see what he's up to, and hopefully he's alone or at least wearing pants this time.
So Brody, what you wearing?
My clothes. Thank you very much. Look, just because I found new hobbies doesn't mean I'm always naked. Okay.
That's why I
Hobby.
said this time. It was only the
It's
once,
a
but
summer
still.
day. You could be sunbathing for all I know. Where
Well,
are you
hell,
Knitting is a
going?
hobby.
Anything
I
can be
don't
a hobby
know.
depending on how many times you do it.
I was told this was not the beach episode.
Oh, fair enough. No,
Episode 5, not the
Brody
beach episode.
probably would have taken his time after the last events, just doing some writing, thought collection, maybe visiting around Kirkwall if he's got free time, and just kind of gathering his
Hmm.
notes and the escapades of the party and stuff like that. So
Yeah, we're just
Yeah, was
gonna-
there anything that you'd be up to in the middle of something or in the middle of a thought of anything like that?
I think I should write more thank you cards. Wait, oh, who's at the door? Is that? And I'll go
You
and
do hear a sound.
I'll open the door.
Oh, do you have staff at your place as well? Because
Do I have staff at my place? No.
Yeah.
Brody's
Oh,
not one to
okay.
really have staff. No.
Okay.
That's a mistake. You were immediately
That's-
tackled by a baby dragon.
Oh, it
Yeah.
looks like I don't have staff either. It is table,
100%.
chair, bed, dust. So,
100%. That door opens. That dragon's on you and giving you kisses. You
Oops.
are the very nice smelling mage or sparkly guy that it remembers.
and I'll try my best to pet, the head. Oh gosh, you're doing so great. You're doing great. Woo!
And you get a spot right behind the ear, and it's like, oh,
Ravina, how are you? I'm
Hi.
so happy you dropped by.
Well, we were just out and taking a walk, It's like potty training, but it's socialized training. Make sure that everyone is comfortable, and this little one here understands that you can't just tackle people when the door opens.
Oh,
and
it's okay.
that it kind of rubs up against you, just like, oh yeah, I forgot. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I done a wrong. Mummy's mad.
I don't mind that.
Look,
Now the potty training in this house, it'd take a while to get cleaned up. So let's not have that happen. So
yeah, very well. That's why I have people.
oh, people, yeah.
What, you didn't think I took care of that?
You never know. I mean,
Absolutely not. That's
doesn't
why
hurt
I
to
have
get
people.
your hands dirty every once in a while, right?
Mhm.
Someone said that somewhere. Sure.
I'm sure they did. And I get my hands dirty in other ways.
Oh,
Yeah.
gardening. Got it.
Yes.
What are you,
lots
what
of
can I help you
gardening.
with?
Oh, we were just dropping in to say hi. Hope we
Oh,
weren't
that's so
interrupting
sweet of
anything.
you. No, I'm just, just in the middle of my notes, things like that. So I was thinking about taking a stop by, maybe trying to go visit Barrick. I always try to talk to him about, our times together, and just he's always
Yeah.
so busy.
Yeah, he is. Which is odd, considering that when we first met him, he was,
Well, I didn't say he
not.
was busy governing. I'm just saying he's always just busy.
He is very
I
busy.
might stop by the Rusty Anchor or something like that later. Try I can find him there.
Well, I will say that it is mostly a social call, but I also, since you're always writing and taking notes, I wanted to make sure that you were the first to know. We have finally decided on a name.
Wonderful. Brody will immediately turn around and go right to his desk, and he's getting the quill. He's got this putting away
Well,
paper
little
out of
dragon's
parchment out
gonna
of the way,
follow
and
you
he's got
and
a
nose
fresh one.
and get their nose in your drawers and stuff. Just like I'm helping.
Yes. Good.
Also, what's in there?
Oh, okay. No, not that. That's my expensive one. Stop. Okay.
Ooh.
And the name is, and I'm
We've decided on Ashkari.
Ashkari. That's so beautiful. What does it mean? I'm not
It
really
means seeker. Red
seeker.
Chain was pivotal in ensuring the name, and this one I think is always going to have an inquisitive nature. So I wanted to make sure they had a name to suit.
Ah, yes. I'm aware of seekers. Yes. No, that's a great name. Congratulations, Ravina. And congratulations to you too, Seeker. Just
Yeah, and then if you don't mind, we'll hang out, and then I'm just gonna, not in a judgy way, but just like, I gotta get my guy in here. I cannot have my friends living like this.
Speaking of, and he's starting to look at his like row of empty bottles from Ravina. Like I don't have anything. I think I have some water.
Oh, no, 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 no. Don't worry about that.
Oh,
I would love for
sorry.
you to have somewhere to store the bottles.
I've got that
Besides
shelf.
just there, right? Because you're not supposed to store them straight up. You lay them down, and you don't really have a place for that. And I can get someone in here to make sure you have somewhere nice to store the wine.
Well, I think if you put books on the ends and then you play them sideways, they won't roll off. I haven't tried it yet. They don't last very long. But
All right, am I gonna have to like ration you?
that's entirely your call. I've always I've always got the rusty anchor. I've got lots of places to visit as well. So
Oh, my dear. All right, nope, it's
Meanwhile,
fine.
Ashkari 100% is like up where they are and just sniffing them, then like,
Yeah, that's because those aren't for you.
well, first of all, he knows better than to. That was one of the first things you trained. Do not go for Mummy's stash.
Mm-mm.
And also, this is Mummy's stash, but is that what she drinks? Ugh. He just walks over to your side and just still making kind of like,
Trying to get the scent out of
my
their
mouth was
snout.
open. My mouth was open.
Oh, poor thing.
Mm.
But yeah, I wanted to make sure that you knew and give proper introductions. But yeah, I just we were very excited, and I wanted to make sure that you knew.
well, I really do appreciate it. That is fantastic news. I'm so happy for you. That's so great. That's so great. Have you been able to see the have you met with the dragon lately? The one that we helped escape? Does he
No,
know yet?
and that's good. It's
It's
better
good?
not.
Oh, okay.
Yes, because
So much to learn.
full size adult dragon swooping over a town immediately, people bring out the turrets and try to kill it. Figure with
Ah, fair
baby
point.
dragon, they adjust. It's small, he's cute, not dangerous versus the giant dragon that destroyed a mountain when he exploded out of it.
Have you been able to take him out to the wilds and get a little hunting action with the
Oh,
dragon yet?
we
No.
are, yeah, we're not ready for hunting because
Oh,
you can't be trusted to come back when you're called.
oh, you're talking. Oh, yeah, you're talking. Yeah, got it.
Oh, would you also like some hunting training?
No, I prefer to buy. Thank you, though.
But yes, once this one is a bit more disciplined, then we will definitely go out and do hunting because you're going to outlive me by a very long time. So I need to make sure that you're taken care of when I'm gone. Yes, several centuries.
So how have you been? I know we've had been a little bit of time since the last time. I think we've all kind of gotten together, but
That was a lot, but I'm dealing. Um, it was originally my father who stopped me. And there isn't a morning I wake up where I don't reach out for him. But now I've got Ashkari and it's better.
Ashkari kind of actually just rubs up against you and is kind of detecting that something's going on, and she hears the softness in your voice and just rubs up against you.
Oh yeah.
I
Scratches
Brody's gonna
under
take a
chin.
chance and just kind of just
Mm.
come up with a slight hug. I know Ravina probably doesn't want to necessarily be touched by me, but I will, if allowed, I will
Yeah,
attempt a
absolutely
hug
fine.
with your friend.
She'll even kind of lean into it.
Oh, wonderful. So I'll make it a little heavier hug instead of light.
Thank you.
Not to interrupt this lovely moment, but you do both hear a screech of some kind. It's an animal's, like an owl screech specifically.
An owl screech? I haven't heard an owl in the city in a while.
Right. And
You haven't heard an owl in the city ever.
That can be a while. The
bit late, isn't it? Shouldn't they be nestling down for the day?
I'd imagine. Well, let me grab my staff and let's see what's happening.
Yeah.
And I'll walk over. And...
I want both of you to do perception checks.
So, if I may ask, how do you spell Ashkari's name?
That will be ASHKAARI.
Red
Ashkari.
Chain was also polite enough to put a phonetic spelling in the chat as well.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. I just want to make sure I had the spelling right.
I got 14.
Okay.
So did I.
Okay. It's coming towards you, actually. You both see just down the lane, down the little cul-de-sac that all of you live on, just down the lane, you do actually see a like little screeching owl that's coming towards you. Not in a violent manner, but it kind of swoops down towards the ground, and in some kind of like puff of smoke, and emerging from it, you see Stan running to you in a hurry.
I didn't know
Oasis.
he could do that. Did you know? Did you know they could do that?
I didn't know anybody could do that.
But your magic. Never mind.
Wait, they're not that good.
I'll explain in a moment. Long story short, not important right now.
Breathe.
Nodis is missing.
What?
Nodis is missing. He was at his shop and he was getting it ready with me and Red Chain, and we heard a commotion in the back, and then Red Chain went to go and see, and now he's not there.
So, was he taken or did he leave?
He was most likely taken. I don't know. Red Chain's gone after him.
Go get Aurelia. I have to take them home.
Yep.
I will join you at the shop.
Yep. And I will run
I'll
over
wait
to
here.
Aurelia's.
Actually, Brody, I'll go with you.
Oh, perfect. Can you also turn me into an owl? That's a new one.
Are you a shapeshifter?
Oh, no. Not at all.
And do you know any kind of wild magics per se, like elven magic?
No, absolutely not.
Then unfortunately, it's going to be a bit of a hard study for you.
Ah, cool. But I would love to talk to you about it later, if that's okay.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, great. Okay.
Ravina has already bolted. She hears none of this conversation.
And of course, Brody and Stan are both just like fast walking, just like, oh yeah, absolutely, I'll do. Yeah. Priorities.
Yes. No. 100%. While we're moving. Yes.
Okay. Aurelia, what you up to?
She is gone. She is dead asleep, has been sleeping a lot. But apart from that, I guess we can get to that whenever anyone gets in. So, like, if this Brody, like, bang, 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 all that, she's like asleep. She has the help's going to open the door for her. She has a wonderful housing staff that came highly recommended, that she like absolutely, like, there was an intensive interview process. They have uniforms that look amazing. And yeah, so Birdie arrives, I guess.
Yeah, actually, Birdie actually enters your room, knocks, enters your room, and then this is Birdie the butler. It's very similar to Brody, but it is Birdie the butler.
Birdie the butler.
You've given them Birdie as a name. It's not their name, but you pay them enough, so they don't really care.
I just knew the brown haired one. Yes. But
you hear, and you get a sort of a wake up call, like a gentle like rustle, and just wake up, Madam.
Yes. What is it?
A Brody and a Stan are downstairs in the drawing room waiting for you.
Aren't you No. Oh,
No,
Brody.
I'm Birdie, the butler.
Oh, thank you. Yes, so sorry. I just woke up. as you can see,
Mm.
as she's like basically in like a cocoon of like expensive pillows, the squishiest comforter that you can imagine. And she's just, oh, yeah. So she is like, oh, okay. Tell them I'll be down in a moment. I can't go down looking like this. So she
Oh,
then,
certainly not, of course.
of course, thank you. And so she begins to just like kind of uncocoon herself from the best bed in the world, the best bed that exists in Thetis. And so she uncocoons herself and is starting to get herself ready and at least puts on like a dressing gown. And if Brody's here at this hour, figured he would have, maybe he hasn't slept yet, writing all that. So she'll make her way down, at least kind of has her hair coiled back up. So it's one of those kind of like dressing gowns. I don't know. I'm a huge Our Flag Means Death fan. So it's like imagine like a steed bonnet robe, but make it
Yeah.
like black and gold and green. And that's what she's vibing with. And so she comes down with it trailing behind her like a train. Just, Brody, it's early. Did you know it's early?
Yes, but it's very important, and you're gonna have to change again. Someone took Nodus. We have to go find Nodus.
I'm sorry. Took?
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, what do you like? Did they pick him up? Like, I'm sorry. What do you mean?
I mean, it's a little rude to do that, but probably.
He was there 1 minute in the back rooms getting me some ointment for my shoulders, and then all of a sudden he was gone.
I'm not sure I want to ask any questions further about that, but I okay. Fine. I guess we'll get it. Have you told the others?
Ravina's putting away the her dragon and
Red Chain's in hot pursuit.
that one. And so we're just gonna renew and we gotta go.
Okay.
We gotta catch
All
up
right.
to Red Chain.
Yes. Okay. Just a second. I just woke up. You're gonna Bernie, Bernice, Bradford, come on, help me. We've got to go
Yes,
quickly.
madam.
So she
And
goes.
he snaps, and actually two of your like quickest maids hop to it and go and help immediately dress you. Like they're the ones who
Right.
are just like military precision. Like you just say, "Hand me this, hand me that." They're like, "Yup, yup," and
Perfect.
within like
And it's just
5 minutes, you are
there's
ready.
a musical number and everything that gets skipped for time.
I mean, there were birds, there were mice, the whole shebang.
Right.
You're the Tevinter Disney princess.
Yeah. It's
Birds
like
come out.
yeah. Or is Brody
Sam.
like
Ooh.
is Brody like just waiting down there? Does Brody follow to see any?
I'm now wandering around. If it's been 5 minutes, that's long enough for Brody to start getting into your stuff. So he's gonna be he's not gonna pilfer anything, but he's gonna be looking through. He's gonna be like, oh, okay, yeah, okay.
Yeah, there's a bunch of
Oh.
like really expensive shiny gold stuff everywhere. And but also if you're looking around like in like it would be used as a dining table. She has it look like she would have people over, but she would never have anyone over. She just wants the impression of it. It's like absolutely long, but there's like a bunch of different maps and like letters and different things there, all kind of looking at different parts of Thetis, and they all have like the Lucerne seal stamped on them.
Well, I'll definitely be pilfering, not pilfering. I will be lifting up the maps, looking at them. Then that'll be where I'm caught.
Yeah. You can definitely see that she's been looking very much at like a different she's kind of like back on the case ever since coming out of the fade with that one. It's kind of she's kind of in like hound dog mode again. So, yeah. But okay, anyway, she comes down looking like an absolute vision as she does. And like so it's the equivalent of like if like designer Marvel Incognito was a thing, that's what she's after, but make it Thetis. All right, are we ready? Are we going? Like where are we going? Okay. Stan.
Hi.
He was there and then he wasn't. Did he go to the restroom? Like he's not there anywhere? Like
no, he went to the back room. It was the back room where all the supplies were.
huh? And then you looked and he was gone? Like, did
Hi.
anyone see him disappear? I don't know. Was there
No.
I'm confused. Okay, well, I guess we should go and we'll see what we can do. I mean, but there's more than a handful of mages between us. We can make something happen.
Oh, that reminds me. They might not be. I was gonna take you back to the shop, but I don't think that's a really good idea. I need. Do
Which
you
way
guys
did
mind
Richard?
if I have an
Go.
idea of what I need to do, except I can't bring you with me. It would mean turning back into what I turned into before I came in here.
Darn it. Okay.
W-
Really feeling jealous about this one.
I know.
Aurelia's looking between the two of them, just like,
It's sort of a second nature kind of a thing, you know? Nature of the beast, as it were, kind of a thing. You have to be a Dalish elf.
oh, you mean doing the like, ours don't do that. That's fine.
The shapeshifty thing, yeah.
Huh. Sure, we could make something happen with that. Okay, well, are you going to do that?
Oh, yeah, and then of course, without a second thought, like without and completely deprived of all like any kind of like manners and everything like that, they just
Pretense.
hurry out the door as the servant just like opens it just in time, and you
There's
see
like
a cloud of
feathers.
like smoke, feathers flying everywhere, and then this like screech owl takes off where Stan disappeared into this puff of cloud, and they take off into the air and just do a circle around the city.
Oh,
I
well,
guess we should go out and meet Ravina. Probably she'll be ready by now. I think it's been long enough.
I'm certain. Okay, well, let's meet with her. And then Aurelia has her things, has her staff, and is ready to go.
Cool. We're gonna smash cut now to Red Chain.
Red Chain just doing the Dragon Age equivalent of the Terminator chase.
Pretty much. So when you step outside, I need you to do because we're going to do this as you've just gone outside and just as Stan has left. So we're doing a lot of overlapping of time here. I'm very Quentin Tarantino, and I'm not sure if this is all going to work out, but it all will work out somehow in editing. So yeah, just do a pay perception roll for me, please, while I do
Gotcha.
something else.
7 plus 11 is sorry, 7 plus 4 is 11. Yes. My brain did the math before I did. Wow. Okay. 14.
Yeah, cool. They got half that for their stealth check. So you see a hooded, short, potentially dwarf individual with a bundle over their shoulder, fireman carry.
Cool.
That definitely
Okay.
looks to be about not as sized.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna try and chase him down and tackle him to the ground.
All right. Give me the dexterity. I think that one's this is technically a combat round in this case, and so we're gonna need to do an initiative for this one.
We roll the 3 dice for initiative. That's how it works. Yes, I can check that instead of asking. 1 second. Sorry.
No, it's fine. Anyone, even like Brody who assists, who can assist with this, also helps as well. As in Corey can also help too. I know he's kind of up on the rules as well.
Oh, it's just a dexterity test.
There it is.
Okay, cool.
Yes, it's a dexterity test. Okay.
Gotcha.
My instinct was correct. They get a bonus.
11. 12 total for me.
I'm not surprised that you beat that. So you act first.
Okay. Well, yeah. Then I am going to.
So yeah,
I'm going to charge.
We're going to be looking. So yeah, we are looking for sort of. I assume in that case it's going to be like a major action. You're going for like a charge, it looks like. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So we move up to your half your speed, rounded down in yards, and then make a melee attack against an adjacent enemy. You gain a +1. I'm just going to go with the last part there. You get a +1 bonus attack on your roll. Don't worry about the math of like the speed and stuff like that. but you are going for a charge. So I'm going to give you a +1 to your attack.
Okay. I'm just going to be using my quarter staff for this. That
Okay.
makes more sense.
Yes, it does.
So is that's dexterity? One sec. Oh, actually, I don't know. One sec. Stabs are dexterity. Cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
Of all the things to whiff, that is gonna be a 5 to hit.
All right. They are going to hang on here. Yeah, they're going to do a defend. There's nothing in here that's as far as I can tell, I don't think there's anything in here that's a dodge. So they are going to do a defend. So
Okay.
okay. Let me just double check here. This will all be edited out in post, I'm sure. Well, regardless, you did whiff even with that +2. It's close though. Whatever you plan to do with your staff, flourish, twirl, you just miss as their foot gets out of the way and they climb over, or they head towards a cart of like hay bales, crawl over it, and then down the single alley that is blocking currently. The hay bale is completely stopped and the driver is like stunned, like, oh jeez, what the.
Okay.
But there is just one alleyway that it goes down, and it goes straight down for a long time.
Okay, cool. Well, I'm just gonna charge that way then.
Cool.
Try and charge over the hail bale part.
Another dex roll as you crawl over that.
Yeah.
Because you got to climb up.
That's 13.
Cool. You make it over. Nothing fancy. You just crawl as quickly as you can over it, and then get to the other side. You then see the figure and presumably Nodis turn to around the corner, down very far away to the left. That was not a roll. That was me dropping dice.
Well, yeah, I'm going to pursue. I have to try and keep them in view.
Yeah, you hurry down as fast as you can down the corridor or down the alleyway. The sound of your like footfalls echoing off the walls. You know, your breathing just rhythmic as you just go into this like sprint, this trained sprint that you've been trained to do your whole life. When you get around to the corner, you then see the figure disappear into a building on one side. To your right.
No, fuck that. I'm gonna arcane lance the door.
Okay.
Ain't dealing with this no more. Ain't dealing with missing. We're using magic, folks. I couldn't use it before because I didn't want to miss and hit Nodis, because that would suck.
Yeah.
We dealt with grief the last episode. I don't want to do that again. Let's not do that again. What's that face? Oh no.
Hey. Just when you say grief, I'm just like, I can't narrate the death of a cinnamon roll. I'm gonna lose my crap. Are you kidding me?
Okay, so that is a 17 for Arcane Lance. So that is succeeding.
Cool. So what you see before your Arcane Lance is released and hurled towards this, this door looks like it was designed to be a hidden door of some kind. That if it went into place and sealed it and you'd not been paying attention to it, you would have missed its distinctive marks that indicated it was a secret door of some kind. However, that's blown completely out of proportion when your Arcane Lance hits it just as it's about to click shut and remain slightly ajar. So the image seems slightly askew and there's a big, huge, dark line and it remains there. No one's gone to fix it. Obviously.
Yeah. Red Chain's gonna rush up to the door, realize this is probably gonna go somewhere, and that's a little bit of a problem if I need my friends to find me. Can I, if say I were to cast Flame Blast into the air, how visible would that be seen? Like, how
That would be
visible
really-
would that be?
That would be very visible considering you have one ally up in the air right now.
Cool. I'm gonna do that then. I beat the TN.
Good.
So I'm imagining that Red Chain like grabs the door and is about to go in and just goes "Nah," and just shoots like an arc of fire into the air from where she is. Probably burning some birds. I'm very sorry.
Yeah, this flame ball hurtles up into the air. Luckily, our owled friend Stan is not in range of it, but they do notice where it's coming from, fly somewhat in that direction, and see that. Red Chain, are you looking up in the sky right now? Okay, you do see this like owl or like bird of some kind head towards you and then loop sort of back, and then it screeches. Ravina, Brody, and Aurelia, can you please do perception checks for me, please? I'm gonna give Ravina and Brody a +1 because you've heard that screech before.
$13.
So I'm using these new dice and I actually have to look at dots instead of numbers. Hold on.
Oh no.
No, I'm excited. I just don't know where my other D6 are. So
I have to look at hearts, and they're kind of like very hard to see on mine.
Yeah.
Here. They're also transcolored, by the way.
Yeah, so there's 12 plus 5 is 17, and we'll call this one the dragon die. That's a 5 on the dragon die.
That'll adjust in a moment. I'm really bright right now.
Yeah.
It's a glow.
Rose
It's
is
that
a ghost.
creative glow.
Hey.
All right, so this is 17, man. I got this. Yeah.
I got a 12.
Okie
I
doke.
see everything.
I'll get a no. Figure out or adjust, or I can just do this again. Boop. Boop. Okay, we're kind of fixed. Kind of. We're good.
My other guy?
Figure it out.
You look like somebody from Indiana.
Right?
What does that even mean?
Really white.
Really white.
Oh, you know,
Knowing.
okay, sorry. I just
White as hell.
my brain couldn't
There we
track
go.
that one for a second, but
It's okay.
So sorry, yes, Aurelia, what did you roll? I apologize.
that was a 17 with a 5 on the dragon die, and then I'm gonna go and find the dice that I can read because my brain is too small for dots today.
Cool.
But
and Ravina.
12. My dice are not loving me right now.
Okay. You do all hear it, for one thing. You all hear it. Aurelia, you're the one who actually can spot it, and you recognize from a distance because of just that nice roll that you had. You do recognize that screech owl is the one that is Stan. And it does loop some motions of sort of where you need to go and how you need to get there. And once you finally all can see it, you all figure out where it is you need to go.
and
As like Stan's sort of like guiding you in flight patterns.
with that screech, Aurelia goes and is like, "That the Dalish?" Look into Brody.
Yeah, that's Stan. Yeah, that's Stan.
That's
Isn't that
Stan.
great? Yeah. Yeah.
What a weird trick. Let's go.
Yeah.
Within a few minutes, you get down to the same alleyway where you see Red Chain holding a door, a wall open. There's an opening and a wall, and Red Chain sort of between it. And as the last of you make it all the way up there, Stan joins you and again shapeshifts back into their elf form.
Glad you guys got here.
I'm glad you guys could read flight patterns. I wasn't sure for a second there.
I mean, there's not too terribly many screech owls in Kirkwall, to my understanding.
No, it sort of makes me distinct, doesn't it?
Yeah. So, well, good. So, Nodis is gesturing at the wall.
Quinari, Red Chain, you got in my head. The Red
That's
Chain
what
will
happens
wrench
when
the
a
door
vent is
open.
in the room.
Red Chain will wrench the door open, or wrench the wall open as it is. Down there.
Oh,
Everybody
okay,
Right.
yeah.
good to go?
Did you see him go down there?
Yeah, let's go.
I saw who was carrying him, brought him down there, brought
Is
the
it-
Nodis-shaped lump.
Is it dark down that direction?
It's dark.
Okay, could I use some sort of magic to cast some light around here?
Yeah, for sure.
I don't have like
You
a
know what?
specific spell as far as it goes, but I just figured that should be like, to Vinter
just
do-
pre-K stuff.
I mean, anyone who's a
Pretty-
mage, just do me a magic roll and see what you get.
Yeah.
Or tell me what you get.
I gotta get the other dice. Oh god. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12,
With
13.
the exception of Stan.
10.
Awful. 11. That was with a +5.
Oh wait, and plus 2 is 15. I can do math.
You're all either at
That could
10
be the
or above,
best.
and I'm of the rule that meets beats. So,
Cool.
in varying levels of dim, each of you at the end of your staffs gets a little light orb. That casts actually a bit of light within, I want to say, 20 feet ahead of you. And it at the base 10 red chain, it's 20 feet for you, a little bit further Brody, but then a little bit more further Aurelia. But combined, you guys do make a good light source at the very least, so you can see down this actually magically manufactured dark.
Ooh. What you're saying is Aurelius is bigger than mine. Got it.
Yes.
Get used to it, baby.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Sorry, they're big
It's
chops.
an adjustment. Anyways.
Now, it's not the size that matters, it's how you use it.
Ah, fair. Fair.
Just make
stolen
sure you
go.
one.
set up O-rings.
There we go.
Oh god.
And actually, at this point, as you all step through, do each of you go then down? How do you organize yourself?
Red
Stan
Chain's in front.
stands in the middle.
Seeing as how I can't cast magic and was not expecting to have to go into a deep, dark, scary cave wall building, I did not bring, not really prepared for like that. So I want to be in the middle so I can see as much as possible.
Can Stan be an owl so he can see? Or they can see? Or
There is bright lights in there, so that will
okay,
affect
so
their
we
sight.
would not need that now. Okay, well,
And that's-
Aurelia is sticking close to Ravina, understanding that Ravina has no magic, but also would like it if Ravina sees something before Aurelia does, knowing that they will bleed very quickly. So, it kind of works
mean,
both ways.
If it
I'll
helps,
bring up the
Stan
rear.
is actually quite behind. Red Chain.
Yeah, like just glued. Understandable.
Well behind, just in case they need to go. Just like
Yep.
brick wall. Got it. Okay. You get hit, I run. Got it. Squishy. Yeah. And as you guys are all making your way down there, this is where we're going to take our first break of the last episode.
Ah!
All right, everyone, go rehydrate or expel liquids, as it were. Bio breaks all around. And when we come back, we're going to find out what the hell happened with Nodis and the rest of the gang. And we'll wrap up this season good and good. All right. We'll see you guys in a bit. And we're back. For those of you who missed the first part, you can rewatch this on YouTube when this comes out. But what may have happened is our little cinnamon roll Nodis got kidnapped by another dwarf. Who could it be? We're about to find out. Nodus. When you wake up, you see what looks like dark fabric removed from your eyes, and a dim light hits your eyes. It does sting a little bit, but your eyes adjust, and you see you're in a room with three armored dwarves. One of which sort of sticks out. He's in the center. He has a single cowlick in the front, shaved sideburns, and large beard and massive braids with like chains and rings of gold in them. He puffs on a gold pipe that is just instinctively and just makes its home on his teeth under his big old bristly mustache. He holds and carries himself very dignified. You recognize this sort of as a noble stance, as you've seen Aurelia stand something like this, Ravina stand like this, sometimes Aveline stand like this. Not so much Varric, but those that you do distinguish as figures of authority or people who hold some sort of self-importance carry themselves as such. And he looks at you with just the one single eye, as there's a nasty scar over the other, sealing it shut. He snaps his fingers, and a chair. You're sitting on a stool, hands bound, and just bound in rope. And you're face forward to this person, this dwarf, noble of some kind, sits in front of you. After his chair, nicer looking chair is brought forward, and he takes a seat, and it creaks under the weight of him and his armor. And he pulls the pipe out of his mouth, breathes smoke onto Nodus, and says, "What's your name, surfacer?"
And how many dwarves did you say were here that I
There's
could
three.
see?
Including him, there's three.
He sort of like looks around, and after the smoke kind of passes by, he goes, "Okay, you're I thought this was some sort of surprise from Aurelia, Brody, and Ravina, but neither one of you are them. So I do feel a little confused. I'm going to be very honest." And he kind of like notices that he's tied up and stuff. He says this, and he just says, "Is this necessary?"
It's for protection, but we appreciate your full honesty and your cooperation. Something's come to our attention in our jurisdiction, if you will, that we want to make sure that this loose end gets tied up. So, I'll ask again, what is your name?
Well, my name is Nodis Tollins, um, and you are.
Just call me Torlek. We can be friends if this works out.
Well,
Just
this feels a
answer
little
this.
odd. This doesn't feel very friendly, so.
It wasn't meant to be. Again,
Oh,
what is your influence in Kirkwall?
influence?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, if you mean any of the stuff that we've been doing for the Viscount Varric, I mean, we've helped him with a bunch of different things. I don't know if maybe if people know, but I mean, we've been doing a lot of good things and helping the city, helping people, and we've been
Uh,
getting a lot
give
of.
me the highlights. I'm not necessarily been up to date. I just know whenever when Varric, the Viscount, comes up, your guys' name come up too.
Oh, well,
Specifically yours.
well, um, I don't know how much I can really say. I mean, I'm sure you know of the Dragon Hole, right?
On the side of the mountain, yeah.
Yep.
That was you.
I mean, I saw. Yeah. Well, sort of. Technically, we were there.
And the shenanigans that happened at the bastard, what is that word? To Vinter? The other day, like a few days ago, the showdown that happened there, blood magic or whatever.
Oh, I mean, we were investigating um, that situation. I'm sorry if that was a
Uh-huh.
friend of yours.
Oh, no, I don't make friends with finger wigglers. No, absolutely not.
Okay, that
Um,
sounds a bit harsh,
considering
but okay.
considering we don't have any aptitude or magic or need for magic. I mean, the only thing we really need them for, and he sort of chuckles to the other two, is, lyrium, that and Templars, but that's pretty much it. Freaking addicts, am I right?
And Nodis kind
I
of like
uh
nervously laughs with them as well.
I digress though. Are you sort of private agents working for the Viscount? Or are you free agents? Like, who are you associated with?
Um, I,
Your
I, I feel like Viscount. We're associated with the Viscount. I mean, he's the one always um, giving us things to do. So I'm sure if you talk to him, he'll give you work as well if you're searching for um, work. Are
uh,
you able to
I
loosen these up a little bit? They are a little tight on the wrists, and it's very uncomfortable having this very lovely conversation with you, Mr. Torlek.
you've been very cooperative so far. And he looks to one of the guys who and gestures as he then goes back to sucking on a pipe and looks like he's then digging in his pockets for something. You feel as the other dwarf goes behind you and like actually undoes your bonds so your hands are free. And you get sort of a whisper like next year, just like, we have bows trained on you. Don't try anything. And he just walks back without getting a response. At this point, Torlek takes open an opened, like the seal has been broken letter, hands it to you. And he says, read this. We already have.
He slowly takes the letter from him. He does he look at it as if he's going to read it right now, right here, kind of situation, or?
And he gave you the order to read it, so does Nodis
Oh, you want
do
me to
so?
do this now? Okay, and he hurries and opens it because he wasn't sure it.
How are you feeling in this moment? I mean,
He is a bit stressed. He's mainly
okay,
confused. If anything, he's mainly confused at what's going on here. But he's stressed as well.
okay. Then with sort of shaky, mouth slightly ajar, just shaky breaths, you read, and in some form or other of voice that you can't quite make out, you read, and I'll send it to you in the in our private chat in on Discord in a moment. But it reads, "To whom it may concern. This may seem out of the blue, but I wish you my deepest condolences. In fact, this has been several days too late. I knew Alden intimately, and can only imagine what you must be feeling and going through. If you would like someone to confide in, or talk to, or need support, bring this letter to your Viscount, and he will help you contact me as you wish. Until then, yours truly, a friend."
Nodis looks up and says, I don't quite understand."
He indicates for you to flip it so you can, because it's like one of those folded sort of things. Um, and he indicates for you to flip it.
Yeah, he does.
And what you can assume is sort of either nice-ish calligraphy is your name. That's your name. Do you mind taking a look at the seal that it was sealed with?
He does.
In sort of a light blue wax, is what you can assume to be must be like Orzammar Dwarven, but you're not familiar with Orzammar dwarves because you're from the surface. But it is some kind of coat of arms of some kind, almost with some form of rank, importance. Does that mean anything to you?
I'm gonna be very honest. No. Um, is it supposed to mean something? Apparently, this person knows my father, so I feel I'm getting a little bit of a feeling that this is kind of important. But I'll be very honest. This is a little bit of a scary situation to be in, being kidnapped and all. So
Fair. We didn't anticipate your friends would be following us. They are here. On their way down, but we know of their actions.
you're not here to hurt them, are you?
No. We're here to make sure that our space remains our space. And wondering and making sure that no one else, like my brother, and he indicates the symbol on there, isn't here for a hostile takeover. Because then I would have a few words to say, and there may be a bit of bloodshed. But you seem to not know what's going on here. Either you're playing a very good game, but I can't seem to tell that you are.
Well, this makes it a little awkward. I mean, I've already opened up a shop in the area, so I don't know how that's going to really affect, your situation. But I'm sure, and he tries to like he raises his hand up to try and show that he's not like trying to make any situations. He's like, I'm sure we all can live in this space together. Um, it's a big city, you know.
I'm willing to compromise. I have a tag that runs deeply under a part of the city, and it is mine because it was given to me by my father. And of course, my brother's father as well. No need to explain how family works, but he has his space and I have mine. He's not the type to be territorial, but then again, I don't know of anyone who might be any kind of relation to him. So you're sure that that symbol on that wax seal doesn't mean anything to you at all?
Is there anything like would this seal have any sort of like would Nodis even have seen it in any way, shape, or form?
I want you to do a cunning check for me. Whoops. As I dropped
Okay.
my own dice. Here we go.
I got an 11.
You've seen letters come for Alden when you've been growing up. There's been like there's been some letters in and out. You do remember one night um that Alden finished writing something and stamped something and had it sent out, and there was a person in the cover of night doing the delivery. When Alden finally went to sleep, this memory is quite distinct. You went to go and take a look at what that was. And you see a seal very much like that. It's very similar to that seal.
Nodis, sort of realizing this, looks back up. Does not really trust this individual just because of how things were kind of handled, and says, "No, I've never seen this seal before."
All right. Well, we've got nothing left here. Your friends will be down shortly. Just know we'll be around. Next time we might be a tad more polite when we come to check up on you. Just don't be surprised.
Okay. I mean, I still feel this is a bit harsh, and
I believe one of my men may have said something to you unnecessarily, and I do apologize if this has made you uncomfortable. I'm sure it has. I hope to approach this better in the future. Meanwhile,
oh,
you're free to go. We will leave. You'll just be here, and you can exit this storehouse. Where are we exactly? Eh, we're still in the city, so you've got nothing. You're not. You'll find your way around if you know the city, which I
oh,
assume you do.
okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. And he gets up, and the chair creaks behind him. The chair is cast aside and put into one corner. Um, and the three of them disappear behind you through what you can assume is some kind of doorway that then closes up behind you afterwards. The last thing you see, if you look back behind you, is the one that introduced himself as Torlek, looking at you with one eye and putting back the pipe where it belongs and smoking a big puff until the wall completely seals up behind you. The letter is still in your hand.
Yeah, Nodis will sort of take a look at it, sort of keep a mental note that talking to Varric might give him more insight or information on this whole situation. And knowing that he's seen the seal before must be important to Alden. Um, so he's just going to stuff it in his bag for now.
Okay. Meanwhile, Red Chain, Aurelia, Brody, Ravina, and in the middle of this whole group sandwich stand, all of you make your way down what feels like a lot of like bunch of stairs on the way down. And then you finally make it to a wood door. So right in front of you, Red Chain, is a closed wooden door with no windows into access or into it whatsoever.
First I'm gonna try it. Just try and open it. Is it locked, unlocked?
It feels locked at first, but then the door or the knob gives way and it turns.
Wrench it open.
As you wrench it open, a little further down, there's quite a few. There's a hallway down with a couple of different doors on either side, but then one at the very, very end. So there's 5 doorways on the way in.
All right. We're gonna have to search this place. Are we sticking together? How do we want to do this?
Should we split up?
Um, is there any way we could perhaps check to at least see if any of these doors might be a likely option so that we don't magically end up looking through the last one. Like,
Actually,
I mean, if you want to go through it, you can go through each door together. It's fine.
can I
Or
use
even if you split up, it's fine.
Can
Go
I
ahead.
use perception to try and figure out like if there's a trail, like because this is a big warehouse looking thing, so maybe trails and dust, footsteps, so on and so forth.
Mhm.
Can I do that?
Yeah, for sure. That is going to be. Yeah, that one I'm going to say is perception check.
Can we all do said thing?
Yes, you can.
Could I do an arcane cunning kind of thing? Just because I feel like checking for traps. This feels trappy to me. So I'm going to do may I do a cunning check for arcane?
Absolutely.
I got 17 for my mundane checking.
15 for my basic check.
Did you check as well, Ravina?
Yeah, I was also checking for traps. I got a 13.
Okay.
I'm specifically checking for magical stuff. Like I know dwarves, but like they can hire out.
I mean, glyphs and stuff like that.
Right.
You're definitely looking for
Yeah,
that.
stuff like that. Something that's just like step here, it explodes. So it's 9, 14 plus my +4 for cunning, and then the +1 for it being specifically arcane. So I got number. Was that 18? Yeah. 19? Did I math wrong again?
Um,
I don't know.
No, I was laughing because you were literally one higher than mine.
Ah. Oh, you're just looking with your eyeballs. I'm looking with magic.
You're looking with mage eyes.
Yeah.
Just
It's
layer
the
goes
it's the
over.
vent squint. It's what we do. The vent squint. We
Don't
look for
call it
magic
that.
everywhere we
Vent-
go.
Don't
I'm
don't
gonna
call it that.
squint.
That sounds a
It
little
is.
naughty.
Don't call that.
Wait, is that a dirty thing? Oh, no, wait.
I
What?
don't know, but it
This
could
group makes it a dirty thing, and I think that's just what it is.
I mean, I was just making sure I didn't say something goofy that it happens more often than you'd imagine.
be.
Actually, it probably happens
Really?
about as often as you would imagine it.
Yeah.
But yes, so
Um,
yeah, big number. I'm looking for magic traps.
So going through it all, Ravina, you do not detect any traps. You've checked every single door and gone through like all like the like checking around the doorways, the handles, and everything like that, and ways that you can check without setting anything off. The entire corridor is not trapped. Aurelia, you find no magical glyphs on anything, but the only thing that's giving off a pulse of magic is one of the doors closest to the end door, but it's one of the side doors to the left. That to you, because it's high enough, I'm going to say indicates that it's like a magical device, such as like lyrium, such as like it's a store of some kind or some storage of some kind. Red Chain and Brody and Stan. Funnily enough, because this is apparently your guys' story and Stan is oblivious and just panicky as all heck, you just see him sort of glancing in on the floor and on the ceiling anywhere that he can look or anywhere that they can look. But the two of you, mostly Red Chain, you actually kind of pointed out, is you do see sort of like drag marks at the door at the end of the hall. Feet were dragged, the door seemed dragged. There was some effort with that door, and it does seem recent. The rest of the spaces around the doors don't seem to be affected by it. I'll even say there's even like marks in the actual stone floor because it is a stone floor.
Okay,
of
I'm
any
gonna
movement
go
there.
straight that way then.
Cool. You do.
Open door.
And you see Nodis. Nodis, you hear a door behind you creak if you're still looking at the wall, and you turn around and see Red Chain
Yeah, I would
and the rest of
immediately
your concerned
turn.
parties.
Notice.
Red Chain, and he runs over and sort of just like checks to make sure like they're actually there, like that they're there. And they're like, okay, good. I was only mildly worried that maybe I was having another mental episode again, but obviously you're actually here, which is good.
Everyone's actually here. And Red Chain will step aside and no longer serve as a door to this doorway and have everyone see you. Nodus is here.
Are you okay? Did they do anything? And there's just like literal kunai just in between each of Ravina's knuckles, like ready to be thrown at at a moment's notice. Like, who took you? Who do I have to turn into a pincushion?
Well, I am fine. They just tied my hands for the time being. So if anything, I just have a little bit of a rash on my wrists. Um, I'm honestly just confused. If I'm being extremely honest, I don't know who these dwarves were, but the
They were
person that
dwarves.
yes, um, the dwarf that I spoke to, or who was mainly speaking, his name was Torlek. Um, I don't know if the name sounds familiar to any of you guys.
Probably something we should bring to Varric.
He'd be
Probably.
more likely to be able to identify who Torlek is. Did they look like they were Karta or anything like that? Like at the Rose?
No, they seemed more uh kind of like how Aurelia and Ravina kind of stand, and he tries to like mimic the like rich people stance, you know, noble-esque,
And
maybe.
actually Stan's gonna did a quick roll and looks between the two of them and thinks sort of like carries themselves like they're kind of important or royal maybe?
Yeah, I think so.
Or noble at the very least. Can't think of any dwarfs that might be nobility here, no.
So
Not
they
for
weren't.
years, anyways. No, I can't think of anything. Varric
Wait,
might be the best case in this case.
wait, were they surfacers or like down dwarves? I don't know what the
Would
term is.
would Nodus know the
Where's
difference
Lamar?
between
You
uh
did notice that they spoke to you, but there was sort of an accent to it. You're familiar with yours and Alden's speech, or sorry, Alden's speech, being what it is, sort of how the way you talk right now. But there was a bit more of some form or other of accent that you could not detect or understand of a language that you're could have been familiar with, but not familiar with. So there was a distinct not. There is a non-surface dwarf accent at the very least.
probably they spoke a little differently than how, I mean, I guess I would, but it's not like I know a lot of different dwarves and how they speak.
Hmm.
So maybe,
Huh.
I don't know. I guess I'm just a little worried now, I suppose.
Yeah.
Understandably so, you were kidnapped.
Oh, don't
Rightly
worry.
so.
This isn't the first time I've been kidnapped, so I can assure you this is a pretty normal feeling. But it's just the fact that they may be watching me now, I guess. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't have bought in that store there.
No.
No,
Absolutely not.
absolutely
Why?
not.
Why would they be watching you?
I don't know. I guess they just don't like the store that I have there.
So
Wait.
this is just about the store? Like they're mad about your property purchase? Did one of them previously own it or something?
I mean,
I
I
think you would
guess,
have said so in that case then, and it would have been maybe roughed up or something like that. I don't
well, it
know.
seems
Land
like
disputes
this,
between the Cartas seems to be a regular thing at the Rose, so I've seen land disputes before.
well, it seems that Torlik owns the area somehow. I mean, I feel like maybe we should
Right,
be able
but
to
if
exist
he
there.
owns the area but is not a surface dwarf, what's it matter what you own where the sun shines?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Is he
I didn't
worried that
even
you're
know people could own areas like that.
is
Perhaps
he
it's more of a territorial thing, or like is if you're saying that he carried himself noblesse, then I will be honest, I know that I know little to nothing. In fact, probably exactly nothing about the politics of dwarves. No.
Oh, me too. Me too. I know nothing
Oh,
about it
great.
too,
Okay,
so
so I know absolutely nothing. I have no frame of reference for it. But if they were noble in that sense, then usually they have some sort of territory, some sort of fief, some sort of barony, anything. And she's just kind of like looking to Ravina As if like, do you know anything about dwarf baronies or anything?
The money is old, the nobility is new. So no, I not of not within dwarven circles.
This seems definitely to be a Varric question because,
Yeah, I guess the next time I get a chance, I suppose I can
well, if they're
speak
watching
with.
you, then I think that that would be something that I would want to have double checked, mostly because if I found out someone was watching me, I can promise you they would not have eyes later.
You have a point. Okay.
Do you want us to take their eyes, Nodis? I have no problem with this. Ravina, do you have a problem with this?
Not at all. I'd be
All right, and
delighted.
anyone else? Brody, Red Chain, do you want to gather some eyes today? Because
Well, I
Feel like
do.
there's a better route.
I agree with Brody. I mean, as scary as the Mr. Torlik seemed, he was very intimidating. He didn't seem to be in the, uh, you know, hurting feeling. So I feel like maybe, at least until I can figure out what's going on.
Okay, well, I don't know about you, but I no longer want to have this conversation underground.
yes,
No,
and a
that-
weird
Yeah.
hole in the wall
I agree.
Yeah.
to the surface, huh?
As you all make your way up there, notice you do notice that Stan is a tad more protective. They're like they're stuck to you like glue, essentially, and until all of you are out on the surface and back in the city where everyone's nonplussed and sees you all come out of the side wall and gets a little spooked by the movement of a side wall and then just hurries along down the then the street hallways. So what next? Do you go to Varric? Do you want to go to a place to forget everything? What's the next step plans, guys? Little column A, little column B.
Varric
I mean,
first, then
my
forget.
Varric.
my voting is definitely to go see Varric, but Nodis, this seems to be about you.
Yeah, we can if the Viscount is available. I mean, I'm sure he's busy, but I mean, I would like to figure out something.
I mean, considering the things that you have all done, that I've heard that you have all done, um, chances are I think he'll make time for you. Maybe let's just head to the keep in the barracks.
Mhm.
Okay.
You all make your way there, and as predicted, yep, you have to wait a little bit, but you are brought forth to Varric's main office, and he's not as disheveled or any kind of just drunk or anything like that, but does seem to have finished organizing and just waits for you, um, hands or fingers interlaced over, and Viscount's crown circled over his head, and welcomes you in. How can I be of service to you guys?
Someone kidnapped Nodis, and I'm not happy about it.
Ah, okay.
I mean, yes, he's
Um,
here. We've got him back.
You
But-
sound
Okay.
like you knew about this.
Can you two let Nodis talk? Nodis probably should be the one to share this.
Before we start throwing unnecessary accusations around, I may know a thing or two. It was only a matter of time, but Nodis, can you describe them for me? Who spoke to you?
Well, their name was Torlek. I'm not sure
Okay.
if this dwarf sounds familiar in any way, shape, or form. Um,
Yeah, he does sound very familiar to me. I am aware of who he is. I'm surprised he chose to speak to you directly. Usually he's not the type. Torlik is part of a clan, family, caste of dwarves that is of the noble house. They are part of I know you don't know too much because I know you're a surface dwarf like myself, but it's my business to know and work with people not on the surface. So they're part of the assembly. They make decisions, the laws, and ruling and governing of Orzammar, which is the city of dwarves. I'm not sure if you ever heard about that or heard tales of it or legends of it. It's all real. It's all there. We came from the stone, blah, 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 all that sort of stuff.
Wow.
Whatever. I can give you the proper rundown unless someone, I would assume your father would have, at least a father or figure of some kind would have hopefully have explained it to you. If not, it's fine. It's a lot of messed up stuff. It's a lot of messed up shit that you don't need to involve your sweet self in. A lot of deception, and it's messy. Anything with nobles is messy. No offense. I am also noble.
None
Shit's
taken.
messy.
Makes perfect sense.
Torlik is an ass, to say the least. I'm sure you all have a few other choice words for him. He feels because of an inheritance that was given to him by his father, there is a, I'm sure he probably used the word tig when he spoke to you about it.
Maybe I was more preoccupied on the kidnapping part.
Fair. So a section of his ruling realm, or a tig, as we call it in Dwarven language, it's a section of it, does in fact lay below a section under the market of Kirkwall. That is his territory, but he feels he not only owns the tig itself, which is actually what it means, he just owns the underground, the section in the city that is dug out to be that city. He owns that city. That is his. He feels, and I have to remind him constantly, that he does not own the airspace above it, rather, the earth and airspace above it. But he seems to think that that's the case. And he's been petitioning for me for at least conquest of this land. Believe me, he's been a thorn in my side for years. I've placated him. I have made him compromise several times. I never thought he would stoop so low to kidnapping anyone. Was there a reason that he kidnapped you? Did he tell you why?
Honestly, I he just asked a few questions. I mean, it seems like he was more wondering who I was affiliated with. I mean, I just said you because you've given us all of, the different things that we've been doing for you and for Kirkwall, of course.
And
So,
you're not wrong. You are free to say that you associate with me, that you work with me, for me, however you want to put it. That did he ask about anything else? Like,
just mainly that and the different things that we've um, that I've done, I suppose. I'm going to be very honest, it just felt like he was very much picking on me specifically. I mean, I don't know if maybe he just doesn't want any other dwarves in that area, but I'm pretty sure I might have seen a few other dwarves in the market area as well. So I don't know.
did he mention any family?
He mentioned that he had a brother. Yes, he had a brother apparently.
Hmm. Were you like tied in with his brother somehow? Did he make some like false accusation or something like that? Or was there something that he had on you or something like that? Any kind of dirt or letters or notes or communication or something like that? It's the only thing that could pin you to him or something like that. Because you're
Well,
right, there are dwarves in that area. There are dwarves all over Thetis, all over Kirkwall. Why you?
well, he did give me this, and he grabs from his bag, and he hands the letter over to Varric and says, um, I'll be honest, I kind of lied to him about seeing this seal. I I have seen it once before, um, but I don't really know how this would be that much of an issue for him. And he kind of just shrugs because the context to this means nothing to Nodis or doesn't quite understand what the
Mhm.
connections are.
All right. Does the name Borjal ring any bells to you or mean anything to you?
No.
Because that's his symbol. Another noble. Higher up, I want to say. Probably more respected and less of an ass than Torlek. Borjal. Yeah. Didn't peg him for this type of um I'm gonna probably have to look into this or have some notes here. Do you guys mind? I'm just gonna quickly just he actually sorts through some files and paperwork. Um and you notice it actually pulls out sort of a dossier on each of you. There are like 5 sort of folders with information and your names on them. Nope, that's Brody, Red Chain, Aurelia. I used the nice pen for that one. And and this one too, Ravina. There you are. All right.
Is he just throwing these onto his desk?
Oh yeah.
Okay, Red Chain's going to just like grab Aurelia's. Just
Aurelia immediately,
hang
like
on.
second grader, is reaching back for it.
Cool. Red Chain, you're gonna do an opposed dexterity check for me, please.
yeah. $13.
Cool. Your hand gets smacked, and a hand firmly is put on file. It's like, no peeking. Not unless it's your own file.
I want my file.
By all means.
Snatch
By all
at
means,
it.
it should be information that you know about. This is how I found out about you all.
Fina's
just-
gonna grab her own file as well.
He gestures to each of you if you want to take a look, just like
Yeah.
they're there, and then he gestures actually Nodis to come over.
Yeah, he walks over.
Through the
Aurelia's
file, you do
looking
see
at
there's
hers. Sorry.
each of you do see like notes on the past instances that happened, maybe a few things of note that have happened. Nothing embarrassing, nothing incriminating. It's just information on your skills, your skill sets, where you came from, possible beliefs or anything like that. And they're not written in just one hand, they're written in different observed hands. What you feel and what you think these files are basically just documents made like keeping tabs on what you've done and what you are doing, essentially. These are your like permanent records per se.
These better just be for payroll.
Oh, it is. If it's any more impertinent to anything else, you'll know. Nodis, come here. And he flips through, and Nodis, yeah, you recognize what everyone else sees. Some past stuff. All of your witness accounts of what happened in the Fade is all written in detailed and everything like that. And there's some circles and marks, maybe like making connections and tying things and just being like, oh, this here, this there. You then see sort of like one of those small little like square portraits of Alden in there as well. And he goes, "This was your father, right?"
Yes.
"I'm sorry. I didn't mean to burst it on you. I was wondering where I kept it. But you should know this was found. And it was brought to my attention, and it was communication between your father and Borjal." Okay, I'm not going to be the one I hate to be the one to have to break this to you. The part where it says, just see, because I lost the place of where I'm reading. I knew Alden intimately and can only imagine what you're feeling. You know what intimate means, right?
I mean, I feel like that could mean a bunch of different things.
They were romantically involved.
Oh,
Lovers,
okay.
in fact. I've done a little bit of digging on Alden and Borjal.
Okay. I don't recall um him ever mentioning anyone.
It was kept a secret because it was more favorable in Orzammar if he had either taken a bride or was on his own. It would have been scandalous if he'd have been found with a groom instead of a bride. Orzammar is unfortunately very traditional.
I
For
see.
your safety, you were put in Alden's care. I do not know if Borjal is your biological father or not, but it may very well be. So, good thing you lied to Torlek. It's a bit of a stretch, but if all this looks to be true, and I can look into this for you, like I will willingly look into this for you. Like I owe you all something, and you asked for the shop, and I got you the shop. But if there's anything more that I can look into for you, I will. But if it turns out that you are Borjal's heir, then Torlek is your uncle, and you are in great danger.
Nadas just sort of like looks down, sort of like taking in all of this and says, I I don't know about that. I feel like this isn't something that my father wouldn't have at least at one point mentioned to me. Besides, I think I know what I'm supposed to be. Obviously, I'm supposed to own a shop and make herbs and help people in Kirkwall. I don't know if you noticed, but I'm not really a noble type. So, are you sure that this isn't like a different person that just happens to look like me? It could happen,
Like
right?
I said, it's a stretch, but from what from what communications we've from what communications we've been able to find, well, I mean, you let after I hate to bring up the past with you, but after Alden left this world back to the stone, or whatever you believe in, when he left us, did you just leave everything behind? Did you leave the cabin behind? Did you leave everything behind?
Yes, I
Alden came here regularly. He and I knew of each other. We never communicated per se, but he was always a kind man. And to have raised someone just as kind as you does make sense.
I
You carry you have his carriage of kindness. A noble will stand up and project themselves as strong and confident, but sometimes it's fake. Sometimes I feel like it's fake coming from me, but I have to carry that. You just wear you just are yourself and wear that very easily. That was Alden.
I I really do think that you must have the wrong person. And he kind of just gets up and just starts walking out of the room without saying anything else after saying that.
Stan follows you immediately. Um, to the rest of you, you see Nodis make a beeline for the door.
Ravina's just gonna toss her file back on his desk and follow out.
I got a Derek.
Hmm.
As Nodis is a surface dwarf, does he have the ability to have claim if that turns out to be true?
the way it works in Orzammar, and it hasn't changed for hundreds and hundreds of years, we're a caste system. We're a caste system that is based on the same sex gender of parent. If Nodus, I'm presuming biologically male, is in fact Borgel's heir, as Borgel is male, Nodus does have claim by blood to be surface. Or even though he's a surface, sorry, if he's a surface dwarf, he does have claim to his father's legacy. It's not
What
much. It's not King of Orzammar. It's not that. It's just the noble status and a seat on the council.
but he can, if he doesn't want it, he doesn't have to take it, right?
Well, that depends. Has Borgel died too? Or, and he indicates the letter that's now on the desk for all of you to see, and you all see what's written there. Or is Borgel just feeling sentimental and wants to reach out and just wants to maybe see the young man that Alden took care of all these years? Just from what Nodus has said, he's not seen any other dwarf. It's just been him and Alden. It's just been the two of them. They could have had carried on a correspondence between the two of them. But I don't think I should be discussing this with you guys. I'm sorry,
No.
but it's only speculation at this point.
I suppose my largest concern here is now being intent on not a safety. That is paramount to me in this. Because if he has a target on his back in this case, then whether or not he is fulfilling whatever this role is, whether or not he makes the decision he needs to with it, it seems that this Torlak is still bound in this case to want to ensure his rightful place within it.
He's concerned about his. He's just overtly concerned about a legacy that he is delusioned to.
And so he's planning to take out
The
anything that could be in that way, and especially with this.
the delusion is that he feels that he's the next heir to all of Orzammar when really he barely has a seat on the assembly. What he's fighting for is not there. The harm he could cause to you, the harm he could cause to Nodus, the harm he could cause here is real, but it's shackled by me. I will personally, and if any of you want to come as injured members of the party because you're all associated with him, any of you want to come with me into this interrogation, I plan to in the next few days. There's things tying me up. There's things that you've brought to our attention that we're still looking into. And there's some details that have developed, but I'm waiting to hear back. There's a lot happening right now. But my first priority is the safety of those who help Kirkwall. You have all helped Kirkwall. You all have that protection, and I will make sure that no harm comes to Nodus's head, especially any of your heads. Any of you are in danger, you come to me.
Does Torlek have any connection to the Carta?
No, of course not.
Oh, just want to make sure.
Oh, no, it's fair. No, the guy's an idiot. He carries himself like a jerk, but he's an idiot.
Red Chain's gonna leave to try and catch up with Ravina and Nodus.
Yeah,
If
Aurelia
the rest
will.
of you want to go, I understand. I'm sorry for the files. I understand that freaks a lot of people out. Need to take notes from Nightingale again.
Yeah,
Mutters to
no,
himself and
Aurelia
just
goes.
is like, if you need to go, all good. I'll reach out. So yeah, Nodis, you are hightailing it where and how are you feeling?
Um, he would be heading towards his shop, and he's feeling very disgruntled, confused, and honestly, in this sort of way of like, he's kind of in this position where he like just doesn't want to believe what has just been told to him. Like he's just does not think that is true at all whatsoever.
Yeah, so you hear voices in your head. You hear Torlik, low, grumbling, and threatening. You hear memories and sparks of Alden talking, conversations you have had, conversations that never have happened, conversations you wish had happened. Um, you hear the voice of the demonic version of that nightmare that you were in weeks ago. You have all of these things playing in your head. Then a couple of voices behind you, just behind you, directly, almost directly behind you. One is Ravina, and the other one is Stan, as they're following you, and they sort of break through.
Yeah, at that
And
point, Nodus would
they
stop
catch.
if he hears them.
That's when suddenly all the world becomes. You become aware of the world around you. You're in front of your shop. You see the sign that's been put up with the teamwork that was you, Stan and Red Chain, and you're about to reach for the door. Ravina and Stan both have a hand on both your shoulders, both kneeling to your height, ready for anything.
He just stops and he before he even opens the door, he turns to both Ravina and Stan and says, "I." And you can see that he's like tearing up a little bit, and he says, "I don't believe any of that. You know, I just don't think that's something that could happen to me, let alone who I would be. I know my father would never not tell me something."
Of course not. He's your father. He cared for you. He loved you, and he made sure that you were aware of everything that could happen to you. And
Exactly.
without prompting, Stan just gives you the biggest hug that they can muster.
Nodus hugs him back.
You
I
spoke
know. Sorry.
you spoke very kindly to me in a moment when I was at my weakest. And even before then, the light that shines in your eyes when you talk about your plants and when you would tell us about this, this place. This is yours. This place is who you are. Our biology is inconsequential. It gives us the physical that we walk around in. It does not design who we are. You have chosen who you are, and it is this, and it is wonderful. It is beautiful. And I will defend you having the ability to choose who you are for as long as we need to. And if that means till the end of the day, till the end of the year, or until we figure out a way to fill in a very large hole, I will do that. But
Nodus
for
then goes
now,
over.
let's make sure nobody else can get in here without any of us knowing about it.
And
Do you
Nodus
think
does
maybe
go
we need
over
to
and
give you a
gives a
little
hug.
bell or something like that?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Hugs, Nodis.
Thank you, both of you. I was always told that a lot of times people, they they can be born with a sort of destiny or knowing what they are meant to do in their lives. And some people have the luxury to not know, but then that means they have whatever possibility they could choose. I was fortunate enough to know what I am supposed to do, and I know that this is what I'm supposed to do, and this is who I am. Yeah, it has to be.
The rest of you catch up at this point, and based on context clues, know that everything's going to be all right. Well, I do notice that you wanted to get the group together to surprise everyone with the new place. Do you want to give them the grand tour and the friends and family discount?
You're right. Oh, yes, yes. Okay, okay. Hold on. And he goes in and sort of he quickly goes in and he says, wait 1 second. I just got to just get one last thing. And then he goes in there, sort of gets everything look a little more nicer. And then he comes out and then he says, okay, now welcome to Alden's greenhouse. And he opens the door for everyone.
And that is where we end our season finale.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
So good.
So, in a very sort of nonchalant kind of way, there are things in development. There have been questions questioned, and there have been developments developed, and this will come to percolate and bubble up as we come back in our next season. Until then, we are going to go on a wee bit of a hiatus for a little bit. Relax, de-smile from all the little cinnamon roll scenes that we've had here. Maybe write some fan fiction, get all that out of our system. If you enjoyed this series, I would love for you all to give Pat, I know you were a little bit away. You did miss a little bit there. This was the tail end of it. There was more before that. There was yeah. But yeah, this is it. So I wanted everyone, on behalf of everyone here at Martlet Games, if you have been watching this and have been watching for the past few episodes, thank you so much. Thank you so much for going through my wanting to tell and explore in this world that I'm very, very passionate about, the world of Thetis and Dragon Age, and just the queerness of it, the bonding of it, the strength and friendship of it all. It really made me very, very happy to be able to tell this story and to also bring these wonderful people together whom I've had the most fun with in the entire world. I want to thank Pat, who has given us a platform, artistic director of Bartlett Games. Please take a look at their Twitter and see what other we have a whole lineup of stuff and goodies that everyone can take you can take a look at. Give us likes, give us subscribes. This really helps support us grow the channel. Find our Patreons if we have Patreons or anything like that. Support these wonderful artists that are here, because this is what we love to do. This is obviously what we really do enjoy doing. I'm going to stop talking now and just let my players take us out. Guys, for the last time this season, until next season at the very least, introduce yourself and where folks can find you. We're going to go in reverse order with Petra.
Hi, I'm Petra, and I'm really sad that I'm not going to be able to see everybody for a little bit. But it's been an absolute pleasure getting to play Red Chain, getting to explore that. And I personally wrote too much fan fiction about this game. If you're watching this game, you might have already seen me post it online. We'll see. I put a little too much work in there. If you want to try and find me, I'm probably, by the time this airs, I will be in studio, because can officially announce that I'm producing a live in-studio Avatar Legends limited 6-episode AP.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'm really excited for that. So you can catch me there, and I will probably write more questionable and horny fanfiction. We'll see. We'll see. There's some
Woo.
blanks to fill in.
And also, if I can say, there's some stuff that that they have made that looks almost exactly like codexes. It is incredible. It makes me happy. It fills my like Dragon Age stuff until whenever Dreadwolf decides to release. Dear God, EA. Also, yeah, if David Gator, you're watching, this is your fault. This is your fault.
My dream is that we put the codex, like I put the codex pages online, and they're just like some coder over at BioWare is like, I'm gonna put this in the game. It's just in the game now. And people will be like, who the fuck are these characters?
Please. Please, just yes. I know who I'm saving for last, so I'm going to skip the next person and go right to Corey.
Hi, everybody. I'm Corey. I've played Brody. Having a great time. Had a great time with this game, with this character. I want to thank Rose, of course. I believe first recorded game as a game master. So she's done a wonderful job.
First with me. You're first with me at the very least. I've done a few at this point.
Of course, of course. I want to thank everybody that we've played with. All people that were strangers to me and have absolutely enjoyed their company and being able to talk with them. If our pre and post show is usually long, we start chit chatting and it can run a little bit. So this has been a lot of fun. Really enjoyed playing the character. Really enjoy this world. I really enjoyed Dragon Age. But if you want to try to find me, I really don't do a lot of social media, but I am on Twitter at Indie Corey Harris. Also part of Martlet here. So been in one game, recording another game that's going to be kind of more like low release, maybe like once a month kind of deal. So you'll see me around, and hopefully, I can play with some of these wonderful folks again sometime. Obviously, with
Next.
Dragon Age Session 2. Whatever. You know what I
mean. Yeah. Next up is Mare.
Hello there. My name is Mare. You can find me on Twitch and kind of Twitter at Oh Hello Mare. I usually, like on my own, I usually just kind of stream. It's either going to be creepy or cozy games, and you never really know what's going to happen. So it's either Stardew Valley or like 7 Days to Die, and sometimes Minecraft in between. So, like, do a little bit of that. I am a huge proponent of education and arts and education. That is a huge thing for me. And yeah, I have loved this. I have always wanted to play a Dragon Age game outside of the video games, and I have absolutely loved the support, the atmosphere, the camaraderie in this little tiny community we've got right here. It's something I've looked forward to every time we've had a recording session. I just get so hyped being around these beautiful people that you see right here. And yeah, so I'm very excited for season 2 things coming up. And I it's nice to know that this is not a goodbye to this group and to this story and to these characters, because I could just eat this content as popcorn for an extended amount of time and never get tired of it. But yeah, thank you guys. Thanks Smartlit for letting me come and play over here. Thank you, Rose, for putting together just so much care and consideration into the stories that our characters, because our characters have lives, and like the love and care that you've put into ensuring that everyone has their moment, everyone has this great thing happening. I have appreciated that so much as having you as a GM. So thank you on that.
Thank you. I am honored. Thank you.
So fun. I'm more please. Okay, thanks.
Okay. Next up we have, I almost got emotional there. Garnet.
Hey y'all, I'm Garnet. I was playing Ravina, and I am so stoked to know that there is going to be a season 2, because these amazing folks right here that I have been able to come together and play with at random days of the week that are always just the most fun to look forward to. Schedules are weird, but we make it work, and I'm so glad that we do every single time. I am on Twitter, usually laughing at folks receiving karma, talking about screenwriting and animation. And when I'm not doing that, I am staring at my computer as I write because I make movies, which is a lot of fun, but a lot of work. But yeah, that's usually where you can find me. Is if I'm not on Discord, I am on Twitter, laughing at other people receiving just the universe going, "Oh, you thought, right?" Um, but yeah, that's kind of what I'm up to and what I'm doing.
Awesome. Couldn't find the mute there. There we go. Um, and last but not least, safety for last because this was your episode, and I cannot. I'm gonna go off in a little bit here and just say that Theirs and I's friendship is just absolutely wonderful. Um, I described I described our relationship as your my younger-ish brother with a tan. Um Jair, take us out. Yeah.
My name is Jair. I played as Nodus Tollins, our surface dwarf rogue. And I just want to say thank you so much. It has been such an honor playing with everyone here. You all are so freaking creative and amazing, and I love and am obsessed with your characters, like absolute. So, and again, thank you so much, Rose, for having me here because this is my first time ever doing a recorded sort of game like this. So it has been a new experience from beginning to end. So, and I'm just absolutely ecstatic and happy for a season two, and I get a chance to play with everyone again. So again, thank you so much.
Yeah, that's it. For this time anyways. I'm gonna leave it with I love this cast. I'm glad I put you all together. I'm gonna miss you for a little bit, but I know we're gonna be able to talk on Discord. That's just for my mental well-being because I'm probably gonna lose it after this. But as most certain journeys and stories go, um, this is not the end. Have a good night, folks.